Welcome you for this lecture. Myself Rohit Kulkarni. Today we are going to see lesson number 5, heat. So all of you open your textbook, page number 62. Science part 1, lesson number 5, heat, page number 62. Right. So I hope so all students have opened their textbook, and I will begin with my. Now see, today what we are going to see in this lesson. Right. Now first is to identify heat as a form of energy, to investigate the effect of heat on solid, liquids and gases, then to distinguish difference between temperature and heat, and to explain the specific heat and describe how it differs from substances to substances. These are the different points today what we are going to see in this today's lecture. Now see, as you know, matter it is divided into three forms, or matter it is of three forms, that is solid, liquid and gases. So you can see in the slide the three forms are given, that is solid form, liquid form and gaseous form. So matter ordinarily exists in three states, that is solid state, liquid state and gaseous state. Now see, if you see on page number 62, the first question is, can you recall what is the difference between heat and temperature? So first what we are going to see, what is the difference between heat and temperature? So as you know, heat and temperature, it seems both are the same terms, but actually they are different. So you should know what is the difference between heat and temperature. So you can see heat is the total amount of internal energy within a system. Right? Heat is the total amount of internal energy within a system, and temperature is an indicator of the heat in a substance. Right? So maybe you understood the difference between heat and temperature. Heat is the total amount of internal energy within a system, and temperature is what? It is an indicator of the heat in a substance. Now see, what is the second question? What are the different ways of heat transfer? So there are three ways of heat transfer: conduction, convection and radiation. So you can write down the answers there with the help of with the pencil in the textbook. So what are the different ways of heat transfer? That is conduction, convection and radiation. These are the three different ways of heat transfer. Right. Now, see, in the previous standard, we have learned about heat and different types of heat transfer. We also performed few experiments related to expansion and contraction of solid, liquid, and gases. We have learned about the difference between heat and temperature. We have also seen how temperature is measured using a thermometer. So the picture is shown of thermometer. So this is the thermometer. Now see, concepts like latent heat of phase transformation, anomalous behavior of water. Now what are the things we are going to see in this lesson? Like latent heat of phase transformation, anomalous behavior of water, dew point, humidity, specific heat capacity, etc., are related to certain phenomena experienced by us in our day-to-day life. Let us learn more about this concept. So one by one, we'll see each and every concept. So first, we are going to see about latent heat. Right. So to understand what is latent heat, we are going to see one experiment. So you can see one figure, right? So what are the things required? Thermometer, beaker, ice cube, stand and tripod stand. Right. So we'll first read the procedure. Now see, these are the instruments required: thermometer, beaker, ice cube, stand and tripod stand. Now see, what is the procedure you are going to do? Take a few pieces of ice in a glass beaker as shown in the figure, right? So we are going to take some ice pieces in a glass beaker. Insert the bulb of a thermometer in ice and measure its temperature. So you can see that the thermometer is inserted in the ice and we are going to measure its temperature. Put the beaker on a stand and heat the ice using a burner. So put the beaker on a stand and heat the ice using a burner. Record the temperature using the thermometer after every minute. So after each and every minute, we are going to record the temperature of by using the thermometer. Now what happens? As the ice is heated, it starts melting. Stir the mixture of ice and water. So as the ice is heated, so we are heating it. As the ice is heated, it starts melting. stir the mixture of ice and water. So afterwards, we are going to stir the mixture of ice and water. Continue the heating even after ice starts melting, and at last draw a graph of temperature versus time. So first, these are the things we are going to do. Now see what we will observe. You will observe that the temperature of the mixture remains 0 degrees Celsius till the ice melts completely. If we continue heating even after conversion of all the ice into water, the temperature of water starts rising and reaches 100 degrees Celsius. At this temperature, water starts converting into steam, and the temperature of water remains constant at 100 degrees Celsius till all water convert into steam. So this is the observation we can draw from this activity. So once again, I will repeat the observation. What we have observed in that, you will observe that the temperature of the mixture remains 0 degrees Celsius till the ice melts completely. If we continue heating, even after conversion of all the ice into water, the temperature of water starts rising and reaches 100 degrees Celsius, right? So as if we continue heating, what will happen? All the ice conversion of all the ice will convert into water, and the temperature of the water it will start rising. It will reaches up to 100 degree Celsius. At this temperature, water starts converting into steam. So at the after 100 degrees Celsius, what will happen? The temperature will not rise, but it will start converting into steam. The temperature of water remains constant at 100 degrees Celsius till all water convert into steam. Right. So this is the observation what we have drawn from this activity. Now we'll see one graph. Now the graph of temperature is shown in the slide. Now see on the left hand side, we have taken some values, time and temperature, right? So that we are going to plot on the graph, which is on the right hand side. Now, in this graph, so when I'm explaining, you have to look in the graph. In this graph, line AB represents conversion of ice into water at constant temperature. So you can see the AB, line AB, which is on the x-axis. So what it represents the conversion of ice into water at a constant temperature. Now, when ice is heated, it melts at 0 degrees Celsius and converts into water at this constant temperature. So when ice is heated, right, it converts into water, and the temperature it is near about 0 degree Celsius. The ice absorbs heat energy during this transition, and the absorption of energy continues till the ice converts into water. So what happens? The ice absorbs some amount of heat energy during this transformation transition, and the absorption of energy continues till all the ice converts into water. Now this is the observation. This is the in this way we can explain the graph. Now see the temperature remains constant during this transition. Now during this transition, what happens? The temperature remains constant, and this constant temperature at which the ice converts into water is called the melting point of a ice. So you can see the definition of melting point of ice. So what is the definition? The temperature at which a solid substance melts and changes into liquid at atmospheric pressure, or you can write down the same definition which is given in the textbook. The constant temperature at which the ice converts into water is called the melting point of ice, right? So we have seen the first definition, that what is mean by melting point of melting point. So the constant temperature at which the ice converts into water is called the melting point of ice, right? Now see, we'll move further. Now see, thus during transition of solid phase to liquid, the object absorbs heat energy. Now whenever the solid changes into liquid phase, or when solid changes into liquid phase, what happens? It absorbs some amount of heat energy, but its temperature does not increases. So here the temperature does not increase. So what is the point given? Thus during transition of solid phase to liquid phase, the object absorbs some amount of heat energy, but its temperature does not increases. Now look in the figure, look in the slide. This heat energy is utilized for weakening the bond. So whatever this heat energy is there, it is used or it is utilized for weakening the bonds between the atoms or molecules in the solid and transform it into liquid phase. So remember this, whatever the heat energy is utilized, or it is used for weakening the bonds between the atoms or molecules in the solid, and it transforms it into liquid phase. So it changes, transforms, or it converts it into the from solid into the liquid phase. And the heat energy absorbed at constant temperature during transformation of solid into liquid is called the latent heat of fusion. So remember, this is the second definition. The first definition we have seen about the melting point of ice. Now this is the second definition, that is latent heat of fusion. So what is latent heat of fusion? The heat energy absorbed at constant temperature during transformation of solid into liquid is called the latent heat of fusion. So remember, understand the difference. Now this is the definition for latent heat of fusion. Now in the next slide we are going to see what is the definition of specific latent heat of fusion. So both are different. So what is the definition for specific latent heat of fusion? The amount of heat energy absorbed at constant temperature by unit mass of a solid to convert into liquid phase is called a specific latent heat of fusion. So these are the two definitions. For the first one is for latent heat of fusion, and the second one is for specific latent heat of fusion. So once again, we'll see both the definition. The first one, the heat energy absorbed at constant temperature during transformation of solid into liquid is called the latent heat of fusion. And the second one is specific latent heat of fusion. The amount of heat energy absorbed at constant temperature by unit mass of a solid to convert into liquid phase is called the specific latent heat of fusion. Right? So three definitions we have seen. One is melting point of ice, second one is latent heat of fusion, and the third one is specific latent heat of fusion. Now we'll move on the next point. Now see the graph already we have seen. Once again we'll go through for the second point. Now see, once ice is transferred into water, the temperature of water starts rising. Now what happens once all the ice is transformed to water, right? Now ice is totally converted into water by heating. The temperature of the water starts rising. Initially it will be 0 degrees Celsius, and as you heat, what will happen? It will start rising and it increases up to 100 degrees Celsius. Right? Reach to about 100. The line we see in the graph. So look at the line AB means what? In AB represents at constant temperature. What is the line rising from 0 Celsius to 100 degree Celsius. What is happening to water? Like BC represents rise in temperature Right. So once all the ice is transferred into water, the temperature of the water start rising. It increases up to 100 degrees Celsius. So line BC in the graph represents rise in temperature of water from 0 to 100 degrees Celsius. So initially we have seen what is the line AB represents. I will say line BC, it represents the rise of temperature of water from 0 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius. Thereafter, even though the heat energy is supplied to water, its temperature does not rise. Now, after that, even though heat energy is supplied to the water, its temperature does not rise, and the heat energy is absorbed at this temperature are used to break the bonds between molecules of the liquid and convert the liquid into gaseous states. Now, what happens? Whatever the heat energy is uh, ab- absorbed by water at this temperature is used to break the bonds between molecule liquid and convert the liquid into the gaseous state. Thus, during transformation from liquid phase to gaseous phase, heat energy is absorbed by the liquid, but its temperature does not change. So during this transformation from liquid phase to gaseous phase, what happens? The heat energy is absorbed by the liquid, but its temperature does not change. And the constant temperature and constant temperature at which the liquid transforms into gaseous state is called the boiling point of the liquid. If we have seen what is the definition of melting point, so what is the we have seen that melting point is the constant temperature at which we have seen boiling point. The boiling definition is the constant temperature at which the liquid transforms into gaseous state is called boiling point of the liquid. Right. So this is the fourth definition. What is the boiling point? So the constant temperature at which the liquid transform into gaseous state is called the boiling point of the liquid. The heat energy absorbed. Now we'll move on the next definition. The heat energy absorbed at constant temperature during liquid into gases is called heat of vaporization. Right. So what is latent heat of vaporization? So heat energy absorbed at constant temperature during transformation of liquid into gas is called the latent heat of vaporization. Right. So remember all the first melting point, then latent heat of fusion, at a specific latent heat of fusion, then boiling, now heat of vaporization. We'll move on the next definition. Now see this definition is for the specific latent heat of vaporization. So the amount of heat energy absorbed at by unit mass of a liquid to convert into gas phase is called the specific latent heat of vaporization. So what is specific latent heat of vaporization? The amount of heat energy absorbed So this is what latent heat of vaporization. So the amount of heat energy absorbed at constant temperature by unit mass of a liquid to convert into gaseous phase is called as specific heat of right? So different substances have different melting points and boiling points. The values of melting point, boiling point, and latent heat depends on atmospheric pressure. Now you can see on page number 63. Copper, third ethyl alcohol, gold, silver, and lead. Right, so these are the substances. So you can see the melting point on boiling point of different substances. The melting point of water is 0 degrees Celsius and boiling point is 100 degrees Celsius. Then similarly, in the same line, it is given specific latent heat of fusion and specific latent heat of vaporization. So the specific latent heat of fusion is unit is kilojoule per kg and calorie per gram. It is given in both the units. And the specific latent heat of vaporization, it is also given in the both the format, that is kilojoule per kilogram and calorie per gram. Right. So first we will move on the melting point and boiling point. Now just look at the second one, that is copper. So the melting point of copper is 1083 degrees Celsius and the boiling point of copper is 2562 degrees Celsius. Then ethyl alcohol, the melting point is minus 117 degrees Celsius and the boiling point is 78 degrees Celsius. Then gold, 1063 degrees Celsius and the boiling point is 2700 degrees Celsius. Then silver, 962 degrees Celsius and boiling point is 2162 degrees Celsius. And similarly, lead, the melting point is 327.5 and the boiling point is 1749 degrees Celsius. Along with that, if you see, along with that, the specific latent heat of fusion and the specific latent heat of vaporization, the values are also given in both kilojoule per kilogram and even also it is given in the calorie per gram. So you can go through that table. Right. Now we'll move on the next point, regulation. Also, what is regulation? You may have seen the preparation of an ice ball. First, an ice slab is shredded, and then the shredded means it is pieced, broken into small pieces, right? So you may have seen the preparation of ice ball. First, an ice ball is shredded, and then the shredded ice is pressurized around the tip of a stick to prepare the ice ball, right? So you are eating that. So by different. So how does the shredded ice convert into solid ice ball? So how does the shredded means which is converted can be converted into solid ice ball? If two small pieces of ice are taken and pressed against each other, so if you take two small pieces of shredded ice and if you press against each other for a while, they stick to each other. And why does this happen? So why does this happen? For that we are going to see the activity. After looking at the activity, you will understand that what is the meaning of regulation. Now see what is the activity. Take a small slab of ice, a thin metal wire, and two identical weights. So you can see in the slide. Now, what is the activity? Put a slab of ice on stand as shown in the figure. Right? Slab as shown in the figure. And as shown in the figure. What do you? It is observed that the wire gradually penetrates the ice slab. So what happens? The wire gradually penetrates. Penetrates means it goes deep into the ice slab. After some time, the wire comes out of the lower surface of the ice slab. And after some time, what happens? The wire comes down from the lower surface of the ice slab. However, the ice slab does not break. Right? However, what happens? The ice slab does not break. The phenomenon in which the ice converts to liquid due to applied pressure and then reconverts to ice once the pressure is removed is called as what? Regulation. Now this is about this resolution. So what happened? Even the two equal weights are kept on the ice with the help of the wire. The ice does not breaks. So that only it is observed. It is observed that the wire gradually penetrates the ice slab After some time, the wire comes out of the lower surface of the ice slab. However, the ice slab does not break, and the phenomenon in which the ice converts to liquid due to the applied pressure and then again reconverts to the ice once the pressure is removed, it is called as what? It is called as regelation. So remember the next definition of regelation. Now see, the melting point of ice becomes lower than 0 degrees Celsius due to pressure. This means that at 0 degrees Celsius, the ice converted into water. Now see, the 0 degree Celsius into to 0 degrees Celsius, and water gets converted into gas. So this is the procedure takes place in this. What we observe ice that penetrates the ice slab. After some time, the wire comes out of the lower surface of the ice slab. This which the ice converts to liquid due to the applied pressure, then reconverts ice into the pressure is removed is called what? It is called as resolution. Right, so the melting point of ice becomes lower than 0 degrees Celsius due to pressure. This means that at 0 degrees Celsius, the ice gets converted into water. As soon as the pressure is removed, the melting point is restored to 0 degrees Celsius and water gets converted into ice. Now, the next point is beer of water. You can see that 3 questions are asked that use your brain power. Now, what is the first question? In the above experiment, the wire moves through the ice slab. However, the ice slab does not break. Right. So, as you see in the above experiment, what happened? The wire moves through the ice slab, but the slab does not break. So, why does this happen? So, we'll see the reason for that. Listen carefully. The ice of the wire continues to melt because of the pressure exerted by the weights. Right. So, the ice below the wire, what happens? It continues to melt because of the pressure exerted by the two weights, and therefore it melts in water, and thus the wire comes down further. When the wire goes down, the water freezes against into melting of ice below the wire below wire into water, and freezing of water above the wire into ice continues as the wire moves down the block. And here the block does not break, it remains intact. Right, so this is the reason, right, that why the ice slab does not break. What is the reason? The ice below the wire continues to melt because of the pressure exerted by the weights, and therefore it melts into water, and thus the wire moves down further when the wire goes down, the water freezes again into ice. The melting of ice below its wire into water and freezing of water above the wire into ice continues as the wire moves down the block, and here the block does not break, the ice slab does not break, and it remains stiff. So this is the first answer for the first question. Now, is there any relationship of latent heat with the resolution? Yes, right. So remember that for the second answer, is there any relation? Yes, there is a relationship of latent heat with the resolution. Then third question. Sir, you know that as we go higher than the sea level, the boiling point of water decreases. What would be effect on the melting point of solid? So what will happen? The melting point of solid will increases. Now, next one, can you tell? We feel that some objects are cold and some are hot. Is this feeling related in the same way to our body temperature? Yes, right. So sometimes we feel some objects are hot and some objects are cold. So it depends upon the body temperature. If our body temperature is normal, then only we can feel the hot and cold substances. Now the last we are going to see about anomalous behavior. Now see, what is anomalous behavior of water? In general, when a liquid is heated up to a certain temperature, it expands, right? So you can see on the left hand side the figure is given. In general, when a liquid is heated up to a certain temperature, it expands, and when it cools, or when liquid is cooled, it contracts. So you should know these 2 points, that in general what happens when a liquid is heated up to a certain temperature, it expands, and when it is cooled, it contracts. Water, however, shows a special behavior. If we heat water from 0 degrees Celsius up to the 4 degrees Celsius, so suppose you are heating the water from 0 Celsius up to the 4 degrees Celsius, it contracts instead of expanding. Remember this, if we heat the water from 0 degrees Celsius to the 4 degrees Celsius, it contracts instead of expanding. At 4 degrees Celsius, its volume is minimum. Right? So at 4 degrees Celsius, what happens? Its volume is minimum, that is due to contraction. If the water is heated further, it expands and its volume increases. Suppose if the water is heated further, instead of contracting, what happens? It expands and its volume also increases. And the behavior of water between its temperature from 0 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius is called the anomalous behavior of water. Right? So to understand the anomalous behavior of water, you should know all the points which is we have seen now. So once again, we'll see. In general, when a liquid is heated up to a certain temperature, it expands, and when it is cooled, it contracts. Right? So when liquid is heated up to a certain temperature, it expands, and when it is cooled, it contracts. Water, however, shows a special and exceptional behavior. If we heat water from 0 degrees Celsius up to the 4 degrees Celsius, it contracts instead of expanding. At 4 degrees Celsius, its volume is minimum due to contraction. And if the water is heated further, it expands and its volume increases. So what is the definition of anomalous behavior of water? The behavior of water between its temperature from 0 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius is called as anomalous behavior of water. Right? So this is the definition. The behavior of water between the temperature from 0 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius is called as anomalous behavior of water. Now to understand that, what is the example? If 1 kg of water is heated from 0 degrees Celsius and its volume is plotted as a function of temperature, we get the graph. Now you can see the graph is given. Suppose if 1 kg of water is heated from 0 degrees Celsius and its volume function of temperature, means the graph will be volume and temperature. So what happens? You can see in the graph at 4 degrees Celsius, the volume of water is minimum. So you can see with it is shown with the purple color that at 4 degrees Celsius, the volume of water is minimum. It means that the density of water is maximum at 4 degrees Celsius. So from this, what we can say, the density of it means that density of water is maximum at This is about what is the definition in this, that the water heat further is the heat further it expands its volume increases and this behavior its temperature from 0 degrees Celsius to 4 is called latent heat, right? For initially, we have seen first is the one activity. Then we have seen what is the difference between heat and temperature. Then what are the different ways of heat transfer, that is conduction, convection, and radiation. Then we have seen what is the melting point. So what is the melting point? The constant temperature at which the ice converts into water is called as melting point of ice. Then we have seen the definition of boiling point. The constant temperature at which the liquid transforms into gaseous state is called the boiling point of the liquid. Then the next definition we have seen about latent heat of fusion, right? So don't confuse between latent heat of fusion and specific latent heat of fusion. So latent heat of fusion means what? The heat energy absorbed at constant temperature during transformation of solid into liquid is called as latent heat of fusion, right? The heat energy absorbed at constant temperature during transformation of solid into liquid is called the latent heat of fusion. Then we have seen the specific latent heat of fusion. The amount of heat energy absorbed at constant temperature by unit mass of a solid to convert into liquid phase is called the specific latent heat of fusion. Then we have seen latent heat of vaporization and specific latent heat of vaporization. So what is the definition for latent heat of vaporization? The heat energy absorbed at constant temperature during transformation of liquid into gas is called the latent heat of vaporization. Then the amount of heat energy absorbed at constant temperature by unit mass of liquid to convert into gaseous phase is called as specific latent heat of vaporization. Then we have seen the next definition, that is resolution. So what is resolution? The phenomenon in which the ice converts to liquid due to applied pressure and then reconverts to ice once the pressure is removed is called as resolution. Right? The phenomenon in which the ice converts to liquid due to applied pressure and then reconverts to ice once the pressure is removed is called as resolution. At last, we have seen the definition of anomalous behavior of water. That is the behavior of water between its temperature from 0 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius is called as anomalous behavior of water. And we have seen the two activities. The first activity was related to the latent heat. Then we have seen the graph, temperature versus time graph. And then we have seen some of the melting points, boiling points, then specific latent heat and specific latent heat of vaporization of different substances such as water, copper, ethyl alcohol, gold, silver, and lead. Right? And different activities and some questions were asked. And then we have seen the activity for resolution. Right? So this is the about. So this is about today's. Next point we are going to study about a study of anomalous behavior of water using Hope's apparatus. So that point will continue tomorrow. Right, there is one experiment on Hope's apparatus. So before that, whatever points we have seen today that you have to revise, learn all the definitions. We have seen here about 8 to 10 definitions, and we'll see the next point tomorrow. That is Hope's apparatus, study of anomalous behavior of water by the. Okay. Hello, madam.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, I